First at 6 o'clock tonight from the NBC 10 I-Team. You know, when you work extra hours, well, you deserve to be compensated. But we discovered for some state workers, it's happening more often than not. Get this, one corrections officer earned more than $300,000 with OT. Good to have you back. I'm Dan Janik in Virginia.
And I'm Patrice Wood. Those state workers don't always have a say in the matter. NBC 10 I-Team reporter Tamara Sakarsik took a closer look at what's causing the overtime budgets to explode on your dime.
The answer to that is staffing shortages. Many state agencies don't have enough employees, so current workers are picking up the slack, some doubling their salaries or more.
$301,196. That's how much overtime a correctional officer clocked in this year, more than tripling his $86,000 salary.
Overtime is part of law enforcement. It is part of corrections. It always has been.
In a sit-down interview with the NBC 10 I-Team, Department of Corrections Director Wayne Salisbury tells me many correctional officers willingly take the extra work. But with a 13% vacancy rate, we found 407 examples of involuntary mandatory overtime in a span of just 2 months.
As the head of the agency, is that acceptable?
So I think a couple of things. I mean, one, involuntary mandatory overtime, is that the answer for everything that you want to do? Absolutely not.
The Department of Corrections is not the only agency facing big overtime bills due to staffing shortages. The state's second top overtime earner is a registered nurse at the Department of Behavioral Health Care, Developmental Disabilities and Hospitals, or BHDDH. He's made $234,707 in OT this year, nearly doubling his annual $119,000 salary.
We completely agree that it is a lot of overtime.
Brett Johnson is the chief executive officer for Eleanor Slater Hospital, where the vacancy rate for nursing positions skyrocketed to 25% during the pandemic.
The impact on the hospital has been mitigated through a lot of the different activities, including some temporary staffing agencies, travel nurse agencies that we have partnered with to cover some of that gap.
Overtime closes the rest of that gap. The agency has spent $20 million in overtime so far in 2024. Data shows 32 medical workers earned over $100,000.
Are they being overworked?
We monitor that very carefully. We're not seeing a lot of signs of burnout of these individuals. A lot of them have become quite accustomed to doing this, and it's kind of a lifestyle for them.
BHDDH has ramped up recruitment efforts, but Eleanor Slater Hospital Chief Nursing Officer Kimberly Kane tells me the competition for nurses is fierce.
If we had the opportunity to spend the money on having more employees instead of, having overtime, we would have, of course, that's the priority.
But with 50 to 60 vacant nursing positions, Kane said the safety of everyone in their facilities is their primary concern.
We need to make sure that we're always staffed, at least to meet our patients' needs.
It's important to note state agencies do budget for overtime, especially if they enter the new fiscal year with staffing shortages. You can check out the numbers for yourself. We've posted a link to our website, turnto10.com. For the NBC 10 I-Team, I'm Tamara Sakarsik.